Your boots squeak on painted concrete that never quite dries. The radio hisses. The air smells like bleach, sweat, and instant coffee. You count faces behind bars while TVs glow where TVs shouldn't exist. Everyone acts calm because calm has been paid for. This is your life, level by level, inside a cartel prison riot. Act 1 Graveyard Shift, Fake Calm. The quiet that's been bought, not earned. You start the graveyard shift in a CERESO-style block that's packed past its numbers. 3 men share a space meant for 2. Mattresses spill into the walkway. You do the real guard things anyway. Radio check at 1 o'clock, key ring counted twice, flashlight beam over faces during the count. But the routine is warped. Certain doors open too easily. Inmates run errands with clipboards like staff. One cell has a flat screen mounted high, another has a hot plate and a pot of beans simmering, and somebody's bedding looks cleaner than yours. You tell yourself it's better this way. You tell yourself the leaders keep order. You tell yourself you're just here to make it to sunrise. Your partner leans on the railing and jokes you should keep your head down tonight. A runner barefoot in shower sandals passes close and murmurs, a cambio. A change, like it's scheduled. The lights flicker once. Not a blackout, just a blink. From the far block, chanting starts one name, over and over, and you don't recognize it. The calm isn't peace. It's a receipt. Act 2 The first door opens. You realize the riot starts with keys, not fists. The first sign isn't yelling. It's the click you weren't supposed to hear. A heavy metal door, one that stays sealed, sits cracked open like someone forgot to finish closing a mouth. You move toward it, hand on your baton, radio up. The sounds arrive before the scene does. Sandals slapping concrete at a sprint, steel scraping steel, a brief metallic ring like a pipe hitting a rail. Then the wet thud of clubs landing. Then a high, thin scream that cuts off mid-breath. You key the radio. Control, possible breach, overlapping shouting pours back, then dead air. Then a calm voice you don't know giving orders like it owns the channel. You tell yourself it's a drill. You tell yourself response teams are staging. You tell yourself the system still belongs to the state. You round the corner and the hallway is wrong. 2 uniforms are down near the stairwell, one face up, eyes open, radio still clipped to the vest. Your partner isn't answering. You understand it in a single, cold measurement. You're the only guard left who can still move. Keys don't jingle anymore, they weigh. Act 3 Autogobierno takes the floor. The prison, government, offers you a job, or a grave. The riot isn't a wave. It's a takeover with traffic control. At the stairwells, inmates stand like sentries, shirts tied over their mouths, checking wrists for colored cloth bands. Runners sprint messages. A lookout whistles twice, and a group shifts position like they practiced. They funnel you into a corridor where a clinic door hangs open. An office chair has been dragged out as a throne. A man steps forward with a handheld radio and clean shoes too clean. He doesn't shout. He speaks like paperwork. He wants 3 things. Your keys, which exterior gates are actually controlled tonight, and time before the state response stacks outside. You tell yourself you can stall. You tell yourself you can trade words for minutes. You tell yourself minutes mean lives. They march you past a corner where rival inmates lie tangled in a heap, bleeding into mop water. Not a fight, a message. On the wall, taped with masking tape, is a crude map, blocks labeled, arrows drawn, timings written like a bus schedule. You aren't negotiating with desperation. You're negotiating with a plan that already includes your body. You've made it through the first organized push. Now they don't just want your keys, they want your voice, your camera blind spots, your names. And the rotors are getting closer. Act 4 The bargain. Keys, cameras, and names. They don't need your uniform. They need your access. Plastic zip ties bite your wrists as they walk you through admin like it's a tour. The bulletin board still has shift rosters pinned under curling tape. A half-eaten concha sits on a desk beside a broken stapler. The CCTV room door is already open. Inside, the monitors show blank squares where cameras used to be, and live feeds where they want them. Someone points with a pen. Corridor B, infirmary, intake. Which one's record, he asks, and where is the DVR? A runner brings a folder, personnel names, home municipios, the handwritten schedule for the next 2 days. Your badge photo stares back at you like it belongs to a stranger. You tell yourself you can give them something harmless. You tell yourself you can misdirect without getting caught. You tell yourself you can survive long enough to matter. They press your thumb to a keypad for an interior gate. They want your voice on the radio, calm and official, telling anyone still listening that everything is contained. Your authority becomes a borrowed mask, and they wear it better than you ever did. Act 5 Retake. Soldiers at the walls, cartel at your back. The state arrives outside. The riot tightens inside. The air changes first. A low chop 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 of rotors rolls over the roof, then the distant pop of tear gas launchers like someone slamming metal doors. Dust shakes from the fluorescent housings. In the yard, inmates tilt their heads, listening the way cattle listen to thunder. They drag you to a window slit near the sally port. Through it, you see helmets and shields stacking behind an armored pickup, a line of soldiers kneeling, rifles angled down. A loudspeaker blares orders you can't make out. Someone behind you chambers a round deliberate, loud, meant for your spine. You tell yourself the retake is rescue. You tell yourself uniforms mean rules. You tell yourself the first man through the door will see you and understand. A radio is shoved against your mouth. Control, you say, because they nod. You're told to report gate status, to confirm which corridor is clear, to slow the entry until they finish moving men and weapons through a laundry passage. Outside, the state prepares to breach. Inside, you become the hinge they swing you on. Act 6 Aftermath. The only survivor becomes the suspect. When it's quiet again, your survival is the loudest evidence. Morning light finds the block in slices, like a place trying not to look at itself. The retake leaves a chalky film on everything, CS residue on rails, on your tongue, on the paperwork stuck to your damp shirt. Bodies are covered with gray blankets. The ones alive sit cuffed along the wall, eyes red, faces blank. They cut the zip ties and replace them with state-issued steel. A medic shines a penlight in your eyes and asks your name like it's a test. You're walked past a row of confiscated things on a tarp. Homemade knives ground from rebar, radios, SIM cards, a ring of keys that looks exactly like yours. You tell yourself you did what you had to do. You tell yourself you kept people breathing. You tell yourself the truth will be obvious. An investigator in a black vest opens a notebook and starts with the simplest question. Why are you the only one standing? Your radio logs don't match your story. Your fingerprints are on the keypad. Your voice is on the channel. Survival doesn't read like innocence on paper, it reads like participation with better timing. They taught you the job was gates, counts, and rules. It was always names, leverage, and who controls the silence. Even after the smoke clears, the building keeps its memory in scuffed floors and dead cameras. You walk out breathing, and that becomes the first thing everyone tries to explain. In a place like this, staying alive is its own confession.